Hello everyone! Some recipes just make you smile, and this is one of them. These little flour cup cookies need just 3 ingredients and comes together in 10 minutes. Perfect for tea time and kids treat too. So if you want to learn how to make them, then just keep watching. Take a clean dry bowl, and starting with the first ingredient, we will take butter, of course. In case you wish to switch to using clarified butter, you can very well do so. Next, we will add in the icing sugar or home ground powdered sugar. Now when you try making this recipe, make sure to whisk in the sugar and butter well, as the dough may go dry when you add the flour, and it will be difficult to shape the cookies. Simply mix it enough to get it to this consistency. Finally, our last ingredient, of course, the all-purpose flour. Now when you add the flour, make sure to add it in batches. This will help you to get the right consistency, and in case your dough goes dry, you can always add a teaspoon or 2 of milk. If you'd like to know how to swap this flour with the whole wheat flour, do write to me in the comments below. Eventually, bring it all together with the help of your fingertips, as we do not want to knead the dough. This is the right consistency we are looking for. Once done, we will bring out the rolling mat to work with the dough. At this point, I'd like to mention that the recipe is so versatile you can bake them with any different style, like if you wish to top it with some chocolate chips or nuts, or even a jam filling of your choice. Now when you're rolling the dough, make sure to use just a little flour, as the dough may go dry if added too much. Simply roll it out to a thickness of about less than a 1/4 inch. And now, using a cookie cutter, we will simply cut out the cookie shapes. You can find the link for the cutter in the description box below. Now, this may look like not much of a dough, but you can easily get up to 20 such cookies from this batch. And taking a bench scraper, we will simply scoop the cookies and start shaping them. Fold the petals inwards gently, pressing them to hold its shape. And all you got to do is use those little paper cups and place your cookies in them, just like that. And this way we get 20 such pretty little cookie cups ready to be baked. Now bring out your baking tray, and this time you won't need to line it with parchment paper to place the cups. In addition, you can also bake a double batch in one go, as these won't need any more space than the cups alone. These are ready to go into the oven. Bake them in a preheated oven for about 10 to 12 minutes with the bottom rod on, but make sure to keep a watch. These look perfectly baked, with an ever so light browning on the edges. Time to see how they've turned out on the inside. Perfectly baked on the bottom as well. Allow them to cool completely before we get the topping ready. I just love chocolate, so what I've taken here is a ready hazelnut chocolate spread. Just drop a dollop into the cavity of the flour cookie, and if you like, you can fill it up with some peanut butter or even a fruit jam. It'll work great with the chocolate on top. We will now take some melted chocolate and drizzle it over the nut spread. This will help seal it, and you can keep them stored in a jar without having to worry about smudging the filling. Swapping the dark chocolate, you can also top some of the cookies with white chocolate too. Gives a pretty look to the clusters on a plate. Simply irresistible, I'll say, don't you think? Let us slice one to see how they've turned out on the inside. So creamy and delicious, you simply can't stop with one. Give this recipe a try and I'm sure you'll love it. Going into the next batch of fun little flour cookies, which is the vanilla and chocolate. Keeping the vanilla dough as the previous, we will now make the chocolate dough. I've added coffee essence here, but it's entirely optional. To this we will add the cocoa powder. But we won't be adding the flour yet. And this is what makes the difference in the dough. The color of the chocolate dough intensifies when we add the cocoa powder into the butter before adding the flour. This looks perfect. And now go ahead and add the flour. Only this time it'll be less as compared to what we added in the vanilla mixture. Mix it in gently as well. A quick tip here, because this is where a lot of people feel something's not quite right. If your dough ever feels too soft or sticky, don't worry. That's actually quite common. It usually just means that the butter is baked too warm. A quick fix is to let the dough rest in the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes, and it'll be much easier to handle. It's these small adjustments that really help you get better results every time. Now that you have your dough ready, bring in your tray lined with parchment paper. And it's now time to call in your little army of kids, because this is where it gets interesting. It's a simple activity, but something they'll really enjoy being a part of. Simply roll tiny dollops of dough, and it's best suited for tiny hands, so I'm sure they'll do a great job of it. Place them such as to form a pattern like flower petals. There's no right or wrong about how many such petals you'd like. I simply chose to make them with 5. And don't worry about making them perfect, just try to keep the size even so they bake nicely. Similarly, go ahead and repeat the same for the rest of the dough. Now once done, you can repeat the same with the chocolate dough as well. Recipes like these are honestly my favorite. Simple, calming, and something you can just enjoy making at your own pace. And if you've ever struggled with getting your cookies right, you can also try the recipe that crossed 1 million views on my channel. It's been loved by so many of you. Once you're done with both the dough flour petals, take a tinier dollop to make the center for each flour cookie. Finally, to give it that extra touch of effect, we will simply take a skewer to help make the indentations, just like I've shown here. And if you'd like more such easy recipes, do check out my ebook. I'll leave the link for it in the description box below. These are now ready to go into the oven with the bottom rod on, and just until they turn light golden. Perfectly baked little blossoms. And to think of it, they're edible too. Time to see how they've turned out. Pretty little cookies, and the tender crumbs make it a perfect bite for every satisfying mouthfeel. Which one is your favorite, vanilla or chocolate? Hope you get to try this recipe soon. And then there are some days when you want to make something small and cheerful, and these little Tutti Frutti cookies are perfect for that, just to bring a little joy and color to your day. Once you're done with preparing the vanilla dough, now comes the fun part, where you add these beautiful little candied dry papaya called the Tutti Frutti. These are easily available in local stores. But in case you don't have these, you can always substitute them with raisins or nuts or even chocolate chips. Simply bring it together to form a dough, and avoid using your palm as we do not want to knead the dough. Not too dry, not too soft. Perfect. Now all I'm doing is take a portion and molding it into a thin log. The thinner the better, to get those tiny little bite-sized cookies. This can go onto the tray for refrigeration. And the best part about these is that the dough can stay in the freezer for up to a month, and you can always bring them out on a day you're hosting some guests or even for your orders. And they can even last up to a month once baked, but make sure that it's in an airtight container away from the heat and sun. Once you're done with all the logs, these will need to be refrigerated for up to an hour. The purpose is to get the dough to be firm enough to slice into it. Cute little fruit cookies. These can go onto the parchment-lined baking tray, and similarly go ahead with the rest of the dough. These can now go into the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes, but make sure to keep a watch as every oven works differently. Perfect little cookies. And I love how each one has a different color popping out of it. So festive, and looks like so much fun to enjoy too. Can't wait to get them to my family to taste. I'm gonna call this a bowl full of happiness. The colors, the smell, the warm aromatic scent from the oven, it just makes everything worth it. Time to see how they've turned out on the inside. Perfect buttery crumbs that gives that melt in your mouth feel. Do give it a try. And finally you have these, super easy with just 3 ingredients. And it's a favorite for many home bakers, cause this is the one recipe that can be made well in advance for a bulk baking session. Just pop the dough into the freezer and bake when you need to. Now take a tray lined with parchment paper and taking a tiny dollop to roll gently, removing any cracks if there may be. These don't spread much on baking, so you can place them accordingly. Once done, we will simply take a fork to make the indentations. I feel like baking is the one thing that just slows the day down in the nicest way. A simple recipe, a warm oven, and suddenly the kitchen feels a lot cozier. These cuties are now ready to go into the preheated oven for about 12 to 14 minutes, but make sure to keep a watch. Now I'd like to share a handy tip here. I took my second batch to freeze them once shaped and then transfer them into a Ziploc bag. You can label it with the date and content. And these will surely keep fresh in the freezer for up to a month. And you can bake them anytime your kids want a quick snack. Or maybe for some unexpected guests for tea. And here they are, fresh out of the oven, simple, buttery little cookies ready to enjoy. And everyone's just waiting to grab a freshly baked cookie to enjoy. This is why I love baking. What's your idea of baking? Share it with me in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Time to see how they turned out on the inside. Perfect little tender crumbs. Hope you get to try the recipe soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.